So yesterday I read what I might describe as one of the most ridiculous royal stories of the week, and there have been plenty lately, but this particular one really made me laugh. So essentially, it's about the superstar concept and why this particular newspaper published a piece that literally proved the opposite of what they were trying to say. So let me get to it. So this particular piece argues that the royal family have two new superstars. Yes. And these two new superstars mean that Harry and Meghan have never been needed less. So Harry and Meghan are no longer needed. They've never been needed less. And the two new superstars are the people that got married about, I don't know, a month or so ago or thereabouts. And this is the funny thing, and I've said this before. Now, these are people that many people in the UK can't even pick out of a lineup of two people. And one of them is the son of Princess Anne, the Princess Royale. And this is a man who has spent the better part of 3 decades being described by royal correspondents as refreshingly low profile. So even they admit that this is a low profile man. He's not a working royal. He is royal, but he's not a working royal. And the most prominent thing about this guy is the fact that he sold his wedding pictures to Hello magazine. Yes, that's the most I know about him. I know he's a sports person. I know he deals in sports management or something like that. But to be fair to him, he's always kept a low profile. Now, this is what I want to talk about, because this man and his wife are not the first replacements that have been auditioned as replacements for the Sussexes. And to be honest with you, I don't think this guy, as nice as he is, and his wife, as lovely as she is, are even close to being a replacement for Harry and Meghan. And let me cast your mind back. So if we think back to the last few years, we've had so many people being bandied as the next secret weapons, as the next royal superstars. So we've had Zara and Mike Tyndall. They've been described as fun, relatable, sporty royals who proved that the monarchy could be accessible and warm. That may be true, but those two are definitely not replacements for Harry and Meghan, not in any shape or form. Then
What if the biggest proof that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle still matter is coming from the very people who insist they don't? Think about it for a second. Every week, royal commentators, columnists and critics tell audiences that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have lost their relevance. They claim the public has moved on. They insist the monarchy is thriving without them. Yet somehow those same commentators continue dedicating article after article to discussing Harry and Meghan. If the Sussexes truly faded into the background years ago, why does every royal conversation seem to circle back to them? And once again, we're seeing that familiar pattern unfold. A recent royal commentary has confidently announced that the monarchy has discovered its newest stars. According to the article, these figures have succeeded where others failed and have finally filled the space Harry and Meghan supposedly left behind. The names being celebrated this time? Peter Phillips and Harriet Spurling. Before we dive deeper into this discussion, take a moment to subscribe to Sussex Champions, hit the notification bell and join our growing community. If you're interested in thoughtful conversations about Harry, Meghan, media narratives and royal double standards, you're definitely in the right place. Now, let's talk about what's really happening here. The latest narrative suggests that Peter Phillips and Harriet Spurling embody everything the royal institution needs. They are being described as relatable, grounded, hard-working, and refreshingly authentic. Some commentators are even presenting them as the ideal contrast to Harry and Meghan. But there's one major problem with this storyline. We've heard it many times before. In fact, we've been hearing variations of this exact argument for years. Whenever Harry and Meghan capture international attention, another royal family member suddenly gets introduced as the monarchy's newest answer to the Sussex challenge. At one point, we were told Zara and Mike Tindall were the future because of their popularity and relaxed image. Then attention shifted towards Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, who was praised as one of the monarchy's most dependable figures. Later, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie were promoted as examples of modern royals, finding renewed public support. Peter Phillips himself has appeared in similar conversations before. And now Peter and Harriet are being presented as the latest pair who will supposedly achieve what no one else has managed to accomplish: overshadow Harry and Meghan. At this point, the pattern is impossible to ignore. The sequence repeats itself almost perfectly every time. Harry and Meghan make headlines. A photograph of the Sussex family trends online. An interview sparks worldwide debate. A charitable initiative attracts attention. A public appearance generates millions of views. And almost immediately, another article appears introducing a fresh royal alternative. A new favourite. A new hope. A new couple being promoted as proof that Harry and Meghan are no longer important. Yet, despite years of these predictions, one thing never seems to change. Harry and Meghan remain among the most discussed members of the royal family. That alone raises an interesting question. If someone genuinely no longer matters, why spend so much energy trying to convince people they don't? Most irrelevant figures simply disappear from public conversation. They aren't constantly compared to others. They aren't the subject of endless opinion pieces. They aren't repeatedly used as the measuring stick for everyone else. That's what makes this entire debate so revealing. The strongest evidence of Harry and Meghan's continuing influence doesn't come from supporters defending them. It comes from the endless effort to replace them. Think about the number of articles, broadcasts and commentaries dedicated to proving that the Sussexes have been surpassed. If they truly pose no challenge to the institution, there would be no need for such persistent messaging. No need to keep introducing replacements. No need to keep making comparisons. No need to keep declaring that another royal couple has finally taken their place. People don't spend years trying to defeat something that has no influence. What we're witnessing isn't indifference. It's competition. And competition only exists when something remains significant. Let's be fair to Peter Phillips. He has generally maintained a low-key public profile and appears comfortable staying away from the intense spotlight that follows senior royals. Many people view him as reliable, sensible, and drama-free. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But presenting him as a global phenomenon on the same level as Harry and Meghan feels like a misunderstanding of what made the Sussexes stand out in the first place. Harry and Meghan became more than royal figures. They became international personalities. Their projects reach audiences far beyond Britain. Their appearances generate worldwide headlines. Their supporters come from every corner of the globe. Whether critics like it or not, that level of attention cannot simply be transferred from one person to another through favourable media coverage. Influence doesn't work like an inheritance. You can't hand it over, you can't assign it, you can't create it through a newspaper headline. And that's where another claim from the recent commentary becomes especially interesting. The article suggests Harriet Sperling possesses a public image advantage because she works as a paediatric nurse for the NHS. Let's be clear. Healthcare workers deserve tremendous respect. The work they do is incredibly important. Their dedication to helping others is worthy of admiration. But being respected for your profession and becoming a global public figure are two very different things. The argument seems to suggest that Harriet's career automatically makes her more compelling to the public than Meghan Markle. That's a difficult claim to support. After all, Meghan remains one of the most recognizable women in the world. Her wedding attracted a global audience. Her speeches generate international coverage. Her projects attract attention far beyond royal circles. Her name continues to dominate discussions years after stepping away from official royal duties. Love her or criticize her, public interest in Meghan has never completely disappeared. The evidence is everywhere. Media outlets continue covering her. Social media continues discussing her. Audiences continue following her story. That isn't something that can be manufactured. And perhaps that's what frustrates some royal commentators the most. There is a certain quality Harry and Meghan possess that institutions have spent years trying to replicate. An ability to command attention. An ability to spark conversation. An ability to remain relevant regardless of what critics predict. The search for replacements continues because the formula hasn't been successfully recreated. One candidate rises, the media celebrates them, the headlines declare a new era. Then attention inevitably returns to Harry and Meghan. The cycle starts again. Another replacement emerges, another comparison appears, another prediction is made. And yet the Sussexes remain at the centre of the conversation. Perhaps that tells us everything we need to know. Because if the search is still ongoing after all these years, maybe the role was never replaceable to begin with. Maybe Harry and Meghan occupy a space that no amount of media promotion can duplicate. And maybe that's why every attempt to crown new royal superstars ultimately leads back to the same place. A discussion about Harry and Meghan. Once again. And maybe that's the real reason these replacement stories never seem to end. If Harry and Meghan were truly irrelevant, there would be no need for endless comparisons, no need for new royal superstars, and no need for constant attempts to prove they've been replaced. Yet years later, they remain at the centre of royal conversations, continuing to attract attention, spark debate, and command global interest. Perhaps the truth is much simpler. Harry and Meghan built a connection with millions of people that cannot be manufactured, reassigned, or replicated through headlines alone. And that may be why every search for a replacement ultimately leads back to the same place, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. What do you think? Are Peter Phillips and Harriet Sperling truly the monarchy's new power couple, or is this just another attempt to find a Sussex replacement? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to Sussex Champions and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest royal updates. Thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next one.